Hello, everyone. Hello. Welcome back to another magnificent Monday with Ms. G right here in Ms. G's Ladies Lounge. Gwen Finley, Ms. G, that's me. I hope you're having a wonderful, wonderful, wonderful day. Listen, we've got such a great guest. I don't want you to miss out on anything. So while we are getting people coming in and all that good stuff, we're going to just do some preliminaries and we're going to get started shortly. But I want you to make sure that you like, tag, and share. Let everyone know we are here. If they can't get Facebook, they can get us on YouTube, they can get us on Twitter. We are here, Miss G's Ladies Lounge, and we're so excited to have you. Today, we have a wonderful guest. As I said earlier, I'm going to give you her bio, a brief bio, a very brief bio, in just a few minutes. And I want you to just know that it's one of those days that you're going to be so inspired. You're going to be ready to have pen and paper ready. So go ahead and get it ready right now because you want to be able to know more about this young lady. So you know how we always do. We like to get started with a word of prayer. So just join me for a quick moment. Father, we thank you for this day. We thank you for all things. We thank you for life, health, and strength. I thank you for everyone that has taken the time to join us on today. And I pray for all of our guests, those that are watching. I pray a special prayer for my guest that is joining me on today. And I pray that you would just help us, oh God, that someone will be enlightened, someone will be inspired, and someone will know that there is something great out there waiting for them just because you have allowed them to see this program on today. In Jesus' name we pray. Amen. All right. So, this young lady, like I said, I'm not even going to go through a whole big bio because really she didn't send me much of one, but she's such a modest person, but she has so much to offer and so much inside of her. But this is Dr. Royston, I'm sorry, and she is a CEO of her book publishing company. She has a couple of different things going on. She is a podcast host. She is an author. She is a writing coach, and she just loves, loves, loves helping people move their visions and move their thoughts and putting on that pen and paper. I know you heard that somewhere before, but this lady here, listen, I'm telling you, you really want to hear what she has to say on today. So let's go to the lounge and see if Miss Julia is ready. We'll be right back. Well, I'm back, and look who I found hanging out in the lounge. Hey, Miss Julia, how are you?
I'm fine. I'm fine and honored and privileged to be with you this evening. All the ladies in the ladies' lounge.
All the ladies just step right on in. Yes, we're so excited to have you here today. I can almost hardly contain myself. Just knowing that I have such greatness in the midst of our lounge on today. And so I really want to just jump right in so that we have enough time to really go into the conversation that we'd like to have. Mainly, we're talking today about writing and things that people are able to pour their passions. Before I even go into all the questions, just tell me what is the main thing that helped you get through this time? And I know writing is probably one of them, but what is the main thing that helped you get through this time of pandemic?
Oh my Lord. I think more than anything else is my faith in God,
Mhm.
and then my own push. Because I'm pretty self-motivated. I am
Mhm.
driven, I'm goal oriented, and I get easily frustrated when I can't find a solution. And so therefore there are a lot of things that I couldn't find the solution for, and I'm like, I can't, my father used to say, don't get your brain down into that. If you can't do anything to fix that, just don't even get your mind down into that.
Don't even
So
do it.
therefore, I diverted my mind to the things that I could control, that I could help, that I could do, and really put my efforts in overdrive to do the
Mhm.
things that really God had put in my hands to do. And really strive to be there for people, but more importantly, I'm like, Lord, help me so that
Right.
I can stay focused, because you could easily get distracted when
Yeah,
there's calamity and all kinds of things going on around. So God
absolutely.
has been my stabilizing force.
Awesome. Awesome. That is so great. So now, what inspires you to actually write?
Well, I mean, it has evolved over time. When I first was writing, for those ladies who've been through any kind of trauma, but I was in the midst of a divorce, and was going getting. I tell people all the time I was getting a degree and a divorce simultaneously. I don't wish that on my worst
Right,
enemy. But
right.
after it was all over, writing became very therapeutic,
Mhm.
but it was very private. It was not meant for anybody ever to see, but it was not, all the trauma surrounding what I've been through. It was totally opposite of that.
Wow.
Very, I got to have a bright future. God, what's ahead? And who? And it was just all of that. And so, therefore, I wrote for really for pleasure, just healing.
Mm,
And then over time, fast forward when God told me to publish my first book, then
mm.
I would just the excitement of seeing my very first book. And anybody who's ever seen your first book, you know what that excitement is like.
Yeah,
Even in the proof raw stage, it's all messed
right.
up, need to be edited. But if you once you see it, you're like,
Yeah,
so
yeah.
then it was like a bug that bit me. And now I have a borderline. It's pretty addicting. I was like, I'm borderline. No,
Yeah.
I think I'm pretty addicted. Then I really became a love of the creative writing process. So when I first wrote, it was therapy. The next phase of writing was because I just wanted to try my hand at it. And then
Mhm.
now it's a combination of all of that. I write to try
Okay.
my hand at it. I write of the needs of my clients, and I write for the needs of really other people. Recently, I had some school counselors say that we need books that have African American children or diverse children on the covers for grief. So, therefore, now I have a
Mm.
commission or demand on my gift now to be able
Wow.
to write to meet a gap, because they said,
Mhm.
if we're counseling an African American child and we present them with a book on grief, but it's got another ethnicity on the cover, they throw it back at us, and we're hampered by, especially with the small ones, with going through the therapeutic process. So it's multifaceted now. So it is really a combination of all. But I still write what I love, though, and I
Right.
still write what God commands me to write too, even if I don't have an audience for it yet. Even if He doesn't say, "Now you're gonna," no, He says, "Write," and that's what I
Right.
do. And then
Right.
the audience comes later.
Yeah, yeah, right. And it'll all come into play. That's awesome. So how did you um now I know you said that someone asked you about writing a children's, but was that your start in writing the children's literature?
No, I've
Or
written
did you-
children's for a long time.
Right.
So I'm an educator. I'm a retired educator, but I have 2 masters in library science. So
Mhm.
K being certified K through 12 in libraries, there's the little ones, the K, pre-K, Head
Mhm.
Start, and then all the way to the high schoolers. So I taught 10 years
Yeah.
in high school, Catholic high school, and then 12 years K through 5. I didn't never get to the middle school. They kind of scared me. But K through 5, they should have been the ones that scared me. I should have gone to
Yeah.
middle school. But anyway, I digress. But so I had started because at the school where I was, they would buy books and give books, but they didn't have no with the Black children on them. And then the book
Mm,
fair, that I will not name the name, didn't have as many Black children on the cover. And I said, oh, there's a gap right here. There's a need. There's a
right.
need. So therefore, that's when I really started writing, and as fast as I can get them done, they moving. So really, that's not my first one. That's just kind of the continuation. Like, what do you need? What is the gap in the industry? And
Yeah.
that's where we are right now.
Ooh, wow. That's really even awesome. So other than children's books, what type of books do you generally write?
Well, I've written
Well,
first.
let me start by saying you've written 63 books.
Yes, yeah. I know. Yeah.
So
I mean, it's kind of trying my hand. I've done a lot trying my hand. But when I first started, of course, my first book was poetry. I've only written one book of poetry. I haven't delved back in there anymore. And then I moved to devotionals and inspirationals. So I've done
mm,
several of those. But then I fast forward, I gotten into people asking me about writing, publishing, and promotion all the time. And I had a
mm,
friend say, girl, you need to write those books so that you can just say, here's to get you started and then come back to me. So
right.
that has really been helpful. So now business, writing more about team building, writing more about, doing business in the digital, online, and virtual space. The in-person brick and mortars suffered such great, and so greatly in 2020. And a lot of them never really shifted gears to the online space. A lot of them did.
Mhm.
But I know I want them to come back in my store, my store. I'm like, boo, you need to be online. We're not going back. You're
Right.
going to have to be in both spaces. So writing about business, as well as people want to be inspired. And then I
Mhm.
still write. I have a Christian fiction series and I have a contemporary Christian series. I'm now delving into teen, tween, young adult. Yes,
Mm.
teenagers still read. I'm sorry. They's
I
like,
know that's
teenagers
right.
don't read. They just doing
Yeah.
video games. Boo, they still read. So
Yeah.
we're doing young adult and teen literature is still really hot. They're still really
Wow.
hot. So so those are mainly, but the hottest thing right now is, if this is my tip for anybody, is children's books, African American children's books. Good quality story. Got to
Right.
be really, it can't
Mhm.
just throw anything of it and just put a Black child's face on it. But that
Absolutely.
is the hottest thing moving right now.
Yeah, I have. I've had a few people on the show who've written children's books, and they've got some amazing stories and amazing storylines. Even one lady that I had, who her daughter was killed by gun violence, and so she explains about children facing death among young kids, and different people, even their family members, and so it's a need now, and that's a good way to educate our kids the things that we can't always give them by words, so it doesn't always have to be we don't want it to everything like to be a fairy tale, but what
Right.
can we educate also through the children's books? That's a great thing. That's a great thing.
Exactly. Yes.
So your bio, said that you just spend your days doing what you love. You spend your days doing what you love, writing, publishing, speaking, and coaching others to write, monetize their messages to the world. So tell me, does that mean that you are retired from the school system and retired from the other
I'm just
ways?
retired from the school system. I am not retired. They were like, "Well, when are you going to really retire?" That's what my husband wants to know. So when are we going to really retire? Retire?
Right.
I don't know. I'm 58. I'll be 59 in 2022 and 2023. I was born in 63. So that's when I turned 60. So we'll see what God says in 60. I think it's going to be different, but he's like, you're never gonna retire. But
Oh, yes,
it'll
you
be
are.
different. We'll see what God
Yeah,
says.
nobody has time for all of that. It's got you but you're gonna have that day when you can just hang out with him. That's what he's looking for, I guess,
That's
right?
what he's looking for. So therefore, when I hear that, I try to do the balance thing. That's what I've got to incorporate more in 2022. Balance.
So we have a few people popping in, so we'll just say hello, hello to
Hi,
Marie
hello,
down in
hello.
Florida. Hello,
Hi,
Lashonda over there in Indiana. I got some Indiana
hi,
folks on the line. And
hi.
hello, Linda, who is here in Virginia with me, and also Dr. Jackie, who's also here. And she is a grief counselor. And actually, I'll be on Dr. Jackie's show tomorrow. You guys just join us. Just look for me. I'll have it somewhere on there. But yeah, she also is working with that young lady that I was speaking about that wrote the children's book,
Yeah,
after
yeah.
her daughter's um, situation. So uh, we are so glad that there's so many women out here, and not like I said, not women who are just trying to give some fairy tale stories, but professional women who is really pouring into not just the women and the men, but the children as well. So now on top of that, you also have an online podcast that you do. um, Tell us about that. You are the host of Living Your Best Life. Tell us a little bit about that.
So live your best life is all about that, your life.
Mhm.
And I usually have guests, and Reverend Gwen Finley is going to be a guest. We've done the interviews for it, but living your best life is really kind of my motto for living for me right now. After leaving the 9 to 5, punch the clock, somebody else giving me the vision and the goals, and but I really want to help people with resources, tools, and information for them to live their best life, make their best choices, do what's best for them. Now, I don't want you to live my best life. I want you to live yours. And that's what that show is all about. It's heard every Sunday morning at 10 a.m. on envision-radio.com. Now, I've had people ask me the WAT, that stands for West Africa time. So
Oh,
I have a group
yeah.
of 3,000 in Nigeria, West Africa. So they hear it simultaneously. So I add the West Africa time so they'll know exactly when to tune in. But
Wow.
it's really about living the life that God intended for you to live. And sometimes
Mhm.
life happens and we kind of get off course, and we really need encouragement, we need enlightenment, we just need help moving forward, to get that done. And I want to be able to provide that encouragement, as you do too as well, to help people to live their best life and do what they were designed to do, as well as have
Mhm.
people who entertain, and and also let people know it doesn't matter where you start, it matters where you're going. And we have all either had an elderly family member, we've had death, we've had loss, we've had sickness, and things like that happen. That's normal. But just pick yourself up, get back
Mhm.
on that horse, get back on that path, and move forward with what God has called you. Yes, get a therapist, have Jesus and a therapist. And
Okay.
if you need one, get a therapist, have Jesus, prayer, and a therapist. And really to move forward with purpose. Don't give
Mhm.
in to the enemy, that what he tells you can't do, what you can't
Right.
be, what you can't have. But live your best life, the one that God intended for you to have. He put you here for a reason, a purpose, and a plan, and live that best life.
That is so awesome. So wait a minute. So you're saying that when you air my show, I'm going to be seen in Africa?
Yeah, you're gonna be hurt in
You didn't
Africa.
tell me
Yes,
that.
ma'am. Oh, I'm
We're
sorry.
going right
We got to see you. Woo woo, honey, lady. God
there.
opens up doors and He
Yes,
provides
he
ways,
does.
and
Yes,
He
he
does
does.
the supernatural and He does the miraculous. I'm over. a lot of times I'm overwhelmed as well. I'm like, really, God, for real? I'm just a little girl online. But that is the
Right.
beauty of technology. And I tell people all the time, I mean, I have communications with people in Africa, and
Mhm.
I haven't even been yet. I haven't
I was
been
getting
on.
ready to ask.
Yeah, I'm looking forward to it.
Okay.
As soon as everything kind of calms down, and
Yeah.
I partner and collaborate with the right people in the right environment. I'm praying, as I say, I'm gonna have to get a boatload of shots, but I'm
Do what you
I'm
gotta
gonna
do.
get
What
on
you
that
gotta do.
plane, because it's a great opportunity, and as a
It is.
historian, a librarian, I gotta set my feet on that
Absolutely.
soil, on that
Absolutely.
continent. Yeah, I just gotta do it one time.
Well, let me know. I know you got a husband, but let me know if you're looking for some more folks.
Oh yeah, we gonna, as they say, we gonna need a
Yeah.
team to go over there. We gonna need a team to go. I'll let you know. I'll
Right.
add you to the list.
Right.
Believe you me.
Yes. Yes. So so now on top of that, you do the coaching, as we said. So the coaching, tell us how the coaching works. As you coach individuals, what's the one thing that you find to be most people's greatest challenges, to writing, and how can they start working to overcome it? We don't want you to give away all your tips, but you
No, I think the biggest thing is finding something that they love more than the fear.
Mhm.
Being a creative, and even in this space, we're striving to be our best, but
Absolutely.
perfection sometimes hinders us all from
Mhm.
moving forward. Oh, it
Mhm.
wasn't right. Oh, it wasn't perfect. Oh, it wasn't. And so therefore it stalls you. That's, I believe,
Mhm.
where writer's block really starts, is when people are fearful if somebody gonna like it, is somebody gonna buy it.
Mhm.
Oh, we don't have anything on paper yet, boo. So let's write it.
Right.
Let's be guided
Yeah.
and actually get it down on paper, as you have said already earlier. Let's get it down first, then we can fix it
Absolutely.
and modify it and shape it and mold it.
Absolutely.
But if you don't start,
Gotta start.
so helping people get over that initial fear of the finished product, and it hasn't even started yet.
Mhm.
So that is the first one, and then two, making sure that whatever you're writing is connected to something that you love and that
Mhm.
you're passionate about.
Mhm.
Because once you realize that it's connected to something you're passionate about, it'll sell.
Yeah.
Because once people recognize that it's something that you love, and then you're connected to, and that you're willing to talk about and discuss, whether people are
Mhm.
paying you or not, then people will.
Right.
If it is a subject and an issue worth discussing and worth fixing, they'll buy it. But
Mhm.
you have to be the cheerleader with your pom poms on, and
Yeah.
yes, yes, yes. You have to be connected to it. People can't read your mind. I know
Absolutely.
there are people with the gift of knowledge and can
Right.
understand, and the Spirit of the Lord says, but boo, there are so many people who do not have that gift. And if you do not tell them, I have a book and it is designed and it should help you with ABC 1, 2, 3. So really passion, because when I interview you, and I do a initial free consultation, I want to know this topic. Where is it in your life? Is it
Right.
something you do in ministry? Is it something that you are a nonprofit that you support? Did you have a loss in your family that you are now on a mission to make sure that gun violence is curtailed in your city, in your community? Is it something else that you feel like that is, there are young people that are crying out for help in a certain area? How
Mhm.
connected are you to that? It's not just, I want to be a bestseller. Okay. And whatever next.
Right.
What else is after that?
Right.
Are
Yeah.
you going to actually meet a need, help solve a problem, or transform somebody's life?
Mm. Wow.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's good stuff right there. That's good stuff. I'm talking with Dr. Julia Royston, CEO, author, writing coach, podcast host, and the list goes on. And I think the main thing that probably should be up here is educator, because you are an educator even in any area, that you are. We recently went to a retreat, and Dr. Julia, in the midst of it all, she started talking, but in her talking, just general conversation we were having at the kitchen table, and she's just going on and she's really teaching. And I was sitting there soaking it all in because, you know, I
I
was so
know. I just can't help it. I just really can't help it. And I'm not one of those people because as an educator, especially public school,
mhm,
we're paid a salary, but we give so much
right,
more. So pray
right,
for the educators because they give way more that's on the curriculum
absolutely.
that they're actually being paid for. But I'm
Mhm,
of the vantage point that I'm gonna die empty. When
mhm,
I see him face to face, I want to hear him say, "Well done, thou good and faithful servant." And I'm not striving to, um, there are certain things. Yeah, I do have a for-profit company. Yeah, I will charge you, and I will invoice it. You're having no problem with it. But there are some times where the Spirit of the Lord unctionizes me to say a thing, and I just say
absolutely.
it, and
Mhm,
people can do whatever with it that they want to. And I'm not one of those that are gonna just, oh, I'm gonna keep it to myself and I'm gonna be quiet and I'm gonna,
right,
but
right,
you could save much people alive, but you could sow it over there and then you reap it somewhere else. So I was also taught that too. Sometimes you don't
right.
always reap where you sow.
Exactly.
You know,
Most
there's,
times.
there's yeah, most times, you like, oh well, that didn't quite work out like I thought
Mhm,
financially over there. Well, but then you reap over here. So you
mhm,
sowed there and you reap over here.
absolutely.
So, you gotta say yeah. As old folks used to tell us, just say yes to God and leave it,
Just say
let
yes.
him
Mhm.
determine where the blessing gonna land. How about that?
That is so awesome. So, listening to you talk, you are a licensed minister, or tell me more about that.
I'm called to teach. I'm
Okay.
certified to teach. I was called a guy, I was driving along. I have to tell this is the way I was called. Besides going into the classroom, he said, "For this cause came you into the world." And I'm like, "Jesus, you was getting ready to go to the cross. That's only one. That's a finished work. Thank God I don't have to do that." He said, "No, you
Right.
can't. We're called to teach." And then I had hands laid on me by Bishop Jackie McCullough. You shall
Oh,
teach my
okay.
people, and that I was laid out on the floor for a while, but
Uh,
as I said, they helped me up off the floor. So no, I have not been, formally ordination process. Maybe
that's
God
all
will see
right.
fit for that another time, but right now, as they say,
Mm-mm.
we just doing. He said, as they say, we in the last and evil days. I'm just
Mhm.
I'm just a messenger, just
And listen,
delivering a message. That's all I'm doing.
once Dr. Jackie McCullough lay hands on you, it's just over anyway. So,
I know. And that
so
floor, boom. I
right.
never went in her presence without a long dress on. Believe you me, she'll do it in the hallway. She'll do it in the
Oh,
parking lot. It don't matter.
powerful woman, powerful.
Yes,
So
ma'am. Yes, ma'am.
now we've gotten all of the writing out, we've gotten all the teaching out, but there's another gift that you have, and that is the gift of music. So now um, you also produced some CDs, released CDs, music CDs. So tell us
Yes,
about
ma'am.
3 music CDs.
Yeah. Well, so I've sang since I was like 8 years old. So singing has always been, a huge part of my life. I mean,
Mm,
my mother sang in the choir. My dad sang with his brothers, but when I was like 2 years old, standing on the seat, my mother was holding me. She was in the alto section, and I was taking it all in. So then you got the junior choir, you got
mm,
the all the sunshine choir and the whole nine
right.
yards, and then I started singing in school and all of that. So music has really been a great part of my life. And then even in church, I was the state young people's minister of music, and so
Mm,
just that whole piece, I loved it all. And so then I wrote my first song. I think it was like 2005, 2006, somewhere along in there. I started hearing when he gives it to me, he gives me the whole song. So he just basically sings it in my head and I have to
mm,
get it down. So it's a beautiful thing, the beat. He gives me the first verse and the chorus, and then he says, "Take it, big girl." you get the second verse and you come up with a vamp and a hook with it. So I've written the praise and worship music is primarily what I've written. Um, the first CD is In His Presence, and then the second project was Hymns for Him. I just did a whole hymn project, and then the third project was Begin Again, and Begin Again was after I had major thyroid because I wouldn't have been able to have a necklace on like this because I had a
Mm,
major border that was like
wow.
6 to 8 inches large. It was huge and literally wrapped around my vocal cords. And it
Mm,
grew because I was too afraid to get it taken off. And so long story short, I did have it removed in 2015. And I said, God, if you just get me out, as we always say, if you just get me out of this. And
yeah.
so the project Begin Again came after that one. So I literally did Begin Again. Now, after that, I have really been on a tangent for writing books. I have not really written a lot of music, and of course, with the pandemic, I've been home and
Mhm.
right now I'm kind of they got me out of a 2 year hiatus by singing at family members and the mothers in Zion. I'm like, put it in your wheel, baby. If you want me to put it in that program, write it out. I had
Right,
one.
yeah.
I I was at a family member's funeral today and sang, and the lady said, "Now you on my. I already got your name on my program." I said, "Yes, ma'am." I said, "Yes, ma'am." So
Wow.
that's
That's
kind of where I
awesome.
am now because they
Mhm.
want an old song sung, and the young girls they don't know all them old songs, so I guess they got to get the old lady back out.
Yeah, yeah, they don't know those songs. They don't know the
No, they
li
don't. They don't. They don't.
listen,
So
I
it's
don't know
been
you
fun.
guys over there that's watching, I don't know, maybe if you put it in the chat, she'll give us a sample.
Oh Lord. Oh gosh.
So where can they find where can we find your music?
My music is on Amazon, so
It's on
you can get all the
Amazon.
projects there on Amazon or my store, Julia Royston store. So this is one that I was going to do today, but I think I just got out of the mood and
Okay.
basically did as they say the one liners and put your hands together. But this one still is on me. So here we go. You may build a cathedral, large or small. You may build a skyscraper,
Oh,
grand tall. You may conquer all the failures of your past, but only what you
what
do
you
for
do.
Christ will last. Remember, only what you do for Christ will last. Remember, only what you do for Christ will last. Only what you do for him will be counted in the end. Only what you do for Christ will
Woo! Yes,
last.
Lord. Come on now. Come on. Come on. You took me back. You took me back. Ooh. Woo.
Yeah, that now
And
you know.
Apostle
Thank you.
Nikkei has joined in. Bless you,
Hey,
Apostle
love.
Nikkei. And
Hey, love.
Carlithia, yes, yes, yes. Yes, Apostle. She is here.
Hey,
She is
love. How are
here.
you? I'm coming your way next week.
Oh, okay. You heading on out
Yeah, I'm
there?
headed to Dallas on the first.
Dallas.
Yeah,
Okay.
yeah,
Awesome.
yeah.
Awesome. Well, listen, you blessed us in so many ways tonight. Wow. That's awesome. I mean, like you said, it's hard to find people who actually know hymns anymore. And I was listening to someone yesterday at church and they was trying to sing a hymn and the musician did not know the song.
Yeah,
And
that
I
was
was
a
thinking,
struggle. That was a struggle. That was a struggle.
yeah, I was like,
Yeah, yeah.
they these days that should be the first thing that they're taught as a musician.
It
You
is, and
know,
that's a thing that even if they're not taught it, they should, if they're going to be at a multifaceted, yeah, thank you. If
that's
they're
my
at a
niece.
multifaceted Hey, love, thank you so much. If you're at a multifaceted church with a group of seniors, as well as, there are some churches that are
Yeah,
predominantly 30 and younger. Okay.
right.
So therefore that would be a struggle. But even at the church with 30s and youngers, they
Hmm.
need to be introduced to it. So you have
Right.
to have a balance. So I have done
Hmm.
one of the other things that I have written is called, for those of you who are in the worship arts or you're looking for materials for your ministers of music, I've written a series. It's the book, it's a workbook, and a devotional called
Wow.
Frontline Worshipers. And it
Right.
is designed specifically for worship and sacred arts. It really is designed for churches with younger praise and worship leaders. I led worship probably 40 years of my life. And a
Wow.
lot of that is not necessarily taught. And yes, I've done praise teams, I've done choirs, I've sang solos and all that. And I've worked and consulted with churches. I haven't done a lot of it lately, but I've done it over the years. And that is a
Mhm.
system that I really put together for designed for that 40 years,
Mhm.
put it down on paper. So that's a part of
Mhm.
that. God said you got to do it. You got
You
to
gotta
leave
do it.
your footprint on the earth so that you can, guide people, because I'm not able physically to go to every
Mhm.
place. But having that balance in your music, you need to learn a hint. You need to fight. You got to fight through that. Yes, the whole system is on Amazon.com. You have to fight through that to learn it, because it's not really handed down and passed down. So
Yeah,
it's
yeah,
out there. It's necessary.
yeah. It's necessary. Mm.
It's necessary. It
Wow,
really is.
you wow, you have really blessed us on tonight. And we're just so excited that you joined us. So tell us, what do you have coming up soon? Because you're always doing something great. Recently, you were featured on the billboard out there, and was it in what?
God is simply all. I was like, I never did really want I thought my face was gonna go on a billboard. But more importantly, I think I'm right now I'm in the children's book mode, just major mode. I am having a 4-week boot camp. So if somebody is interested in writing one and they want somebody to help them walk them through the process, we're going to be doing that on Thursdays in
Mhm.
January. So January the 6th, the 18th, the 13th, and the 20th and 27th. So hit me up, go to talkwithroyston.com. Let's have that conversation. If you're interested in writing one, it's a 4-week boot camp. And then also, if you're, of course, talkwithroyston.com, if you want to have a conversation about publishing, or you're interested in that, or what your next procedure is. I'm of the advantage of the avenue that as of February 2022, I've been in business 14 years.
Wow.
And my job now is to make sure that people get what they need, not
Mm.
what I want.
Right.
Because it's the point, and if I can't help you, I need to point you
Mhm.
in the direction to where you need and where you need to go, and
Mhm.
what you need to happen. So if I can help you and I know that I can, I'll do that. But
Right.
my thing in my part in the kingdom is really to make sure. I've always been in a service oriented position with my regular job.
Mhm.
So
Wow.
making sure that you get your needs met and what you need so that you can live your best life. So coaching will continue, writing will continue. I've got a writing course that's coming up in January as well. So
Mm.
just hit me up, and if you're interested in being coached writing so that you know which direction to go in, there are plenty coaches out there. So seek the coach that is going to help you get what you need to get done. I highly recommend that you touch base with Ms. Gwen Finley, Reverend Finley, and really get that done. If you do not have coaching, coaching transformed my life. It did not necessarily get me jump started. It just moved
Mhm.
me faster on the path and helped me to see clearer. So if you have not taken advantage of coaching, please do so. Now, it doesn't necessarily mean you need to be coached forever, but there are
Right.
certain times in your life.
Mhm.
I tell people every great anything always had
Mhm.
a coach, always had
Right.
a mentor, somebody to
Mhm.
help them get over a hump, get through a space, a dry spell. All the major athletes all have a
Mhm.
coach, no matter how great they are. They all
Yeah.
have someone to coach them. Now, being coached forever and you just keep on staying and coaching and you don't get nothing done,
There's
I
no
have a
growth,
problem with
no
it.
growth
Yeah,
somewhere.
no growth, exactly. But you do need a coach to make sure that you continue to move forward. So um, I highly recommend that that you really seek coaching, and more importantly, even than coaching, that you seek God and find out exactly where you're supposed to be
Absolutely.
and
That's
what you're
the
supposed to be
first
doing.
step.
That's my last thing, is that stop looking on the left to the right. And we all do that. We want to
Mhm.
see what are they doing, and that's good. But the Bible tells us comparing ourselves to others is not wise. So
Right.
you were designed to be unique and stand out. So therefore, find out what God intends for you to do, because then that stops a lot of jealousy and
Mhm.
envy and competition. And when you get in the lane God intends for you to be in, honey, you will clap for your sister. You will clap for your brother. You be like, go on,
Absolutely.
girl. That I can't do
Absolutely.
that, but you go on
You
and
go
do what
on
you.
with
And
your bad
I think
self.
that is phenomenal. Once we get in the lane we're supposed to be in, that
Mhm.
we will do what God called each of us to do. It'll be a wonderful world. There's 8 billion people on the planet. We got
I know
plenty to
that's
do.
right. Exactly. And everybody is assigned to someone.
Yes,
Everybody is assigned to, and that's the thing that people have to remember, because people, I remember having Charvette Mitchell on the show, and I asked her a question. I said, Charvette, how is it that you're able to share so much and then have other people come and share on your show, and they may be doing the same thing you're doing, and like she said, it's a person's preference, and they may
yeah,
work better with you, they may work better with me, they may work better with her, they may work, so you have to shop around, just like for anything else, shop
that's
around,
right.
see who
And
has
what fits,
it.
it fits
Yeah,
best. And
yeah,
make that connection fit best and go on.
yeah,
But
yeah. But
no.
don't shop around. See, now here's where I get a problem. The people that want to shop around and woo,
Playing for
people
your own.
that want to shop around and get a little bit of information from everybody so that they think they got enough to to bake a cake.
Well,
No,
you eventually are gonna have to invest. You're gonna
you
have to make that investment. Short story. So I started above and next considering that I didn't have enough all to do. In 2020, he said start a uh foundation for actually giving books to underserved and underrepresented populations. So I have the foundation and I'm looking for people to give. And he said, well, nobody's going to give until you
mm,
give. You must be the first partakers. You must be the
wow.
first investor. So until you invest first,
Mhm,
then, and that's exactly what happened. Now, yeah, it's a business. So you have to continue to grow it. But no one
right,
gave a dime until I was
right.
the first ones to invest. So
Wow.
therefore, in your business,
Mhm,
in your ministry, in your marriage, in your family,
mhm.
you must be an investor.
You must be.
Got
Yeah.
to invest time, money, effort, treasure, expertise. You must do that. And I don't believe God intends for it, because he said, whatsoever a man doeth shall prosper. I don't believe that you're going to really reap the benefits and get a harvest if you don't sow, if you don't
Right.
invest, if you don't
Mhm.
put in the time. That's all. Well,
Dr. Nick, you just gonna tell it like it is.
yeah, no. That's right. We ain't got no time to sugarcoat this. As I say, it's time to go to heaven. Ain't time to sugarcoat nothing. But it's the absolute truth that you have to be
Mhm,
willing to be an investor. And then once you invest, once you get the information,
mhm.
then put it into action, and then
Exactly.
share it, and then pass it on, and set up your own whatever God's called you to do. But no,
Yeah. And
all
just
that whole
because, like, there are different price points. So one person may not fit your budget. You find who fits your budget. Don't try to outdo your own budget. And then you
no,
can't live and you can't function the rest of the week,
no,
you
no,
know. But there's different people that have different services that can meet your need, and you work your way to the next level, and
exactly,
it's just one
exactly.
thing that I think. Do you have any new books coming out though that you're ready
Woo,
to
woo,
release?
woo, woo. Well, I just released business in the digital, online, and virtual space, and I was really intentional about that because I really wanted to help people who had brick and mortars, or to make sure that, sure, it works in the physical space, to make sure that you do have an online presence. And I really, I thought, okay, everything would be over, COVID will leave and all of that, but there are some things that will not return to normal. So that
Mhm.
is one of the books that is really coming out now. Also, I have an inspirational book called Plan B, and it has really focuses on sitting down prayerfully and with a plan, and that plan A, that plan where life
Mhm.
happened and it got all complicated and
Right.
mixed up.
Mhm.
uh, you may need a plan B. You may need to,
Right.
or go back to the original plan A, and not that one in the
Right.
middle that you got targeted off. So the plan B. I'm also writing, well, of course, illustrating the grief books for children, but I'm also
Mhm.
I'm working on a lot of fiction right now
Mhm.
too, as well, and as well as I've got a starting back at the alphabet. So for the little ones, pre-K and Head Start, I wanted to do my own tracing alphabet coloring book. So doing that to really try to have something that has diverse characters on. I'm really into that, having diverse characters on it for a textbook in schools.
That's
So
awesome.
I'm working on that too as well. So be on the
Mm.
lookout. The more and more and more God gives me the idea, I get it down on paper and get
I
it
know
together
that's
as
right.
quickly as possible. So, and I encourage you to write your story. When God gives it to you, make sure you get it down so you
Absolutely.
can get it to the world. Somebody's waiting on it.
That's it. That's it. And she said her grands love their book.
Oh, I'm so glad. Yay.
That's awesome. So, and I don't know about the rest of you out there listening. I heard what she said, and I'm telling you, I am writing, writing, writing. And so I'm getting ready, and I hope you're getting ready too, because
Yeah. Yeah.
this is actually an optimal time to
Hmm.
put it to paper. You know,
Yeah.
and I had someone, I don't know if she's watching, but I had someone who was very ill, you know, and she was talking about writing her book, and I said to her, I said, you know, that's a great way to leave a seed in the earth, you
Yes.
know, because
Yes.
you may not reach everybody on your block. You may not
Yeah.
reach everybody in your town or in the towns that you visit, but your book can go places you'll never reach. And if God
Exactly.
is giving you something to share with people, that is that seed in the earth that's
Yes.
going to go
And it's
far
also
and
a legacy for
legacy.
your children,
Amen.
your community, for
Mhm.
the next generation. God forbid
Absolutely.
that something happens to you and you leave, but 63 books, I'm
Mhm.
leaving a legacy, a written
Absolutely.
legacy on the earth. And if
Yeah.
you're ill and you're like, especially for that person who's ill, who doesn't feel like it, or I
Mhm.
don't type very fast, just get a voice recorder app
Absolutely.
on your phone and just speak it in there, and then it can
And
be
speaking.
transcribed. So that's my big hint for you, because some people, I don't
Yeah.
type, girl. I don't, can't get it down fast. I don't type as fast as you. Then speak it. Speak it in your
Speak
phone.
it.
Speak it.
I'm driving down the street and something
That's
comes
it.
to my mind. I turn on that sound, the sound app, and
Uh-huh.
I start speaking what I'm hearing because
That's it.
that, you know, those things, and sometimes they come and they leave just as quickly as they come.
Exactly.
Well, yeah,
Exactly.
it's nothing
Yeah.
wrong with that, you know, and then they do
Not
have
at all.
apps that you can speak into, and it'll type your whole manuscript for you.
Yes, that's
So,
right.
yeah, invest in yourself, look for it. So, listen, we're so glad that you joined us on today. We went over a little bit on our time, but it's well worth it. And so
Thank
I'm
you.
glad that you, I'm glad that you, you know, took this time out to hang out with us little folks out here.
I'm not believing that. As they say,
I'm
I'm
just,
not believing that.
no, we're all great people in the sight of God.
Yeah, I
All
love it.
great
I love
people.
it. I
All
love
of
it.
those magnificent women that join in Ladies Lounge. every week, and they may not come live. Some come back and watch later, and I'm telling you, we've got a great group of women that join us. So we're so glad again that you took the time out, and I want to say thank you. And
Thank
I
you.
look forward to speaking with you again really soon. And
Yes, ma'am.
you'll hear from the two of us together again in the new
Yes,
year.
most definitely. Yes, yes, yes. Be on the lookout.
Thank you,
Yeah,
Dr.
that's
Apostle
right.
McKay.
Thank you.
Thank you, thank you.
Thank you.
So you have a wonderful Thanksgiving. I forgot to ask
You
you, are you
too.
cooking?
Oh no. No, no, no.
You
My husband and my mother-in-law, they do cooking. Oh no, no,
Oh,
no.
okay. You
I'm like,
got
what do
too
I need
much
to get at the
writing.
grocery? No,
Too much writing to
God
do.
blessed me
Yeah.
with a chef. Hallelujah.
Yeah. All right. I know
He
that's
blessed me
right.
with a chef. Thank you, Lord.
Well,
But
you sit
yeah, I'm
back and
looking forward to
enjoy.
it.
You've been
Yes, yes,
working
yes,
hard
yes.
enough. You've been working hard enough.
I have. I have.
And
I've
and
got
if
to get
you
some
you've
rest
got
in and all that
you
good stuff.
mentioned 3 or 4 books that you're working on now, and you've already got 63 out. You put
Yeah.
your feet up and just relax.
I'm gonna try. It's so hard for people like me,
I
but
know.
no,
Do
I'm
what
gonna
you
try.
can.
I really will.
All right.
Self-care.
Well,
Isn't that what you told me earlier? Self-care. I'm gonna work on that.
self-care, self-care. All right. Well, we'll see you again soon.
Thank you.
Listen, I wish I could come to Dallas. I wish I could, but one of these days soon, you'll see me, Dr. McKay.
Oh,
All
I'm coming to first. All right. All righty.
right.
I
Well,
love
you
it.
all enjoy your holiday Thanksgiving. Thank you, Dr. Julia. We
Thank
appreciate
you.
it.
Thank you. Thank you.
All right, ladies and gentlemen, it has been a wonderful, wonderful evening, and I appreciate each and every one of you that joined us on tonight. I appreciate you if you're catching the replay, if you caught us live. I appreciate you. If you're catching the replay, just leave us a little comment. Let us know. Hashtag replay. I was here. All right. Don't forget, meet me tomorrow night right here on Facebook. It will be on Facebook Live, Dr. Jacqueline Maxwell, Dr. Jacqueline White Maxwell, I believe it is, Dr. Jacqueline White Maxwell, and you want to join us for her navigating loss and grief. We're going to be on there talking with her, and I would love it if you would be in the audience and just join in with us. There'll be some great information that will be shared. She's always got great information and great encouragement and inspiration, and I'm going to try to chime in with her on tomorrow. Also, don't forget that you can still purchase the Let the Vision Speak. The book that I have written, you can still purchase that. It's now available, still available at Amazon.com. And you can also visit me at gwenfinley.org, gwenfinley.org. Actually, you can just scan right there at that little QRS code that's on my border. You can scan that right there, and it'll take you directly to my website. And you can just look around. And if you'd like to be a guest on my show, you can sign up right there while you're on the website. You can just send me a message and let me know that you're interested in being a part of Miss G's Ladies Lounge. Let us know what it is that you do and what you'd like to talk about. We'd love to hear from you. All right. So, listen, once again, thank you so much for joining us today. I look forward to seeing you next week. We have another great guest, Miss Tavara Johnson, who is coming, and I'm telling you, she is the bomb.com. You don't want to miss her. So join us on next Monday. Thank you so much. Happy Thanksgiving. Enjoy your meal and enjoy your family. Love you all. Have a great day.